We have recently just got a bunch of brand new Poppy Playtime news, with 2 brand new screenshots and an estimated price tag for Chapter 5, along with a bunch of dev updates regarding around Chapter 5 and us potentially getting a brand new Thanksgiving artwork that might have some teasers for Chapter 5, along with a bunch of merch, including 3 brand new Nightmare Critter plushies all at the same time. Yes, you guys heard me. We have a lot to talk about, so without further ado, let's just go and hop into the video and start off with the brand new merch. So around 4 days ago, Culturefly went and teased saying they have been locked up for too long, don't you think? Adding mob entertainment and just having an image of 3 emojis, being an alligator, a dragon, and a shark. Of course, being Allister, Gator, Simon Smokes, and Maggie Mako. Then of course, 2 days after that, they said something sweet, something cool, and something chill is coming to the official Poppy Playtime store, releasing November 24th. Giving us this little teaser, of course, 3 different images of a kind of blurred out and fuzzy, grainy video. The new Nightmare Critter plushies, as of course a photo. I just absolutely love the lighting within all these. Then of course, today, at the time of actually filming and recording this, and of course by the time you've seen this is probably yesterday, the Nightmare Critters went and finally released. Of course, we got Maggie, Mako, and they're all for pre-order, of course, all retailing for around $38, and they'll all be shipping in February, but that is probably going to be subject to change. As of course you guys can see here, they are 14 inches tall. The zipper is only for aesthetic purposes, of course, all of them having the silicone charm, and of course, sadly, they are all unscented, and none of them stand on their own, and it's only some of them standing for product photos. But Maggie Mako looks amazing, I gotta say. The only one complaint I really have, or kind of 2 complaints I really have, is one, just really the colors. Everything looks really bright and really light, especially with Allister Gator 2. I think the colors just look a little bit too bright, more like a whitish color too. And I did wish that the teeth would have been made with some type of harder material, kind of like maybe silicone or maybe even foam, but it still looks really good, I gotta say. Maggie Mako looks wonderful. Besides that, there's literally no problem I have with this plush. It looks amazing. And Simon Smokes looks just amazing. There's only like 1 complaint I have, and of course it's that they kind of mistaken the color in the bottom of his jaw. It's just all red when it's supposed to be a little bit of white. Besides that, everything in this plush is amazing. Of course, sadly not scented. And also the charm itself looks like it's kind of metallic, kind of like what they did with the Monster Dog Day plush, but Simon Smoke looks amazing. I gotta say, this is definitely probably my favorite Summerland Critter or Nightmare Critter plushie out of the full roster. And Allister Gator looks pretty good, you know. The same thing I have with the same complaints with the teeth. I wish it was using like the other teeth material, just like Maggie Mako. And of course, I wish the colors are a little bit more darker. But besides that, this plush looks amazing. Of course, the brand new charm also looks like it's using some type of metallic silicone paint on it to make it look more like the game. And I gotta say, it looks great. I really do love it. So definitely go and subscribe, because I definitely will be doing a full review when I do get these plushies in, because of course I will be ordering them. So just go and stay tuned for that. Of course, Allister Gator has the chin a different color, so why couldn't they do that with Simon Smokes? It's all, of course, a pre-order, and of course, this is all subject to change, so we just have to probably wait and see. But along with releasing these brand new plushies, they also went and released some brand new merch, being 3 shirts, one being a Yarner BT with some different Japan words. It just looks so cool. I really do love it. And the other one here is Doughy, called Doughy Keep Smiling Tee, which I gotta love the whole Play-Doh looking texture they put on it. It looks really good. And of course, more Pianosaurus merch. This one's saying Face the Music World Tour. So is this foreshadowing something? I don't think so, but I do think it's just some really cool merch that they are releasing, so that is a plus. But moving on to epic drops, they did go and actually gave us a very first look at Fat Mojo's Nightmare Critter plushies, with the very first one just being a cartoon version of Bob Chops. And I gotta say, honestly, Bob Chops looks a little bit chopped, I'm not gonna lie. The hair looks a little bit iffy, but the plush just looks fine. I think the body's fine and all that. It does look a lot lower quality than the original Smiling Critter Fat Mojo plushies, but this is their version of the deluxe plushies, and the tag looks all right. So I probably will be reviewing this whenever it comes in. So I guess stay tuned for that, but it's definitely not one of the best plushies they went and released. But thanks to the pop-up shop, we can see that also Japan will be getting more merch, like these 4 brand new plushies of Catnap, Huggy Wuggy, Mommy Longlegs, and Doughy that will be having metal articulation in all their limbs, making it a cool little posable plush, along with this pop-up shop showing some brand new merch, of course, for Christmas, and also having a whole Merry Christmas artwork that actually has a whole list of new artwork for the Nightmare Critters, which I found really interesting. But hey, it's always good to see new artwork. Also, this tweet shows some brand new socks, and just that's kind of it. Just different socks coming to the pop-up shop, nothing really crazy. But talking about some more interesting and really good merch, Poppy Playtime is of course collaborating with Theoryverse, and we did talk about this in the channel a little bit before too. And I mainly went and talked about it in my theory video, so that wasn't really a news video, so you probably didn't watch that if you're up to date with the news videos. But if you didn't watch that, we're getting a brand new hoodie. Of course, this is being the Theory Arcade hoodie for $78. We're getting a brand new shirt. We're getting a brand new pants. We're getting a brand new jacket, a fan kit TV that has a pin or like 2 pins and a little like keychain that looks really cool, and of course a brand new shirt. But if you're wondering, well, this is all some really cool Smiling Critter merch, but they're all Smiling Critter merch and they're all in an 8-bit retro design. But of course, they had a whole teaser video that did go and release and posted it on Instagram. And to be fully honest, it was a pretty cool video. Nothing big or anything secrets really hiding. But no, they of course had to have secrets saying check the neck with some hidden text, help us. And of course, half the fandom is really thinking this is supposed to be foreshadowing the whole 8-bit game we've been talking about on the channel for a while. And we do know that that might have been in the works. So this could be something related to Smiling Critter Survival. It could be with something related to just that 8-bit game. Who knows? All I gotta say is that it is some type of a weird coincidence, but I did talk about all the stuff and of course other past videos about the trademarks, about Smiling Critter Survival, the 8-bit game, all that good stuff. But even the Poppy Playtime pop-up shop went and released this artwork here. Just talking about Poppy Playtime, nothing really crazy, but they did have some little new Nightmare Critter artwork on the side. Interesting how these never got fully released, but it is of course there. Along with them also talking about how Poppy Playtime is the most popular horror game in Japan, which is just some crazy good news to hear as a Poppy Playtime fan. But moving on to some of the more juicy and somewhat interesting stuff. We do know that the brand new Poppy Playtime Chapter 5 Steam pages and Epic Store pages did drop. Well, it turns out you could do a little bit of digging on the Epic Store to go and actually see some more information, how they have a set price of $20 so far for the chapter. This is most likely subject to change, of course. So we have to, of course, wait and let time see. Along with them also saying it's releasing December 2026. And to be fully honest, that's kind of unrealistic. So of course, this is going to be subject to change. So this could be the price for Chapter 5, it will be fitting because it's the same as Chapter 4. But they also had 2 different images that was hidden that was not posted on any of the Steam pages. With one of them showing a different angle of just that other image I already got here, nothing really crazy, just has some type of gameplay with the grab pack hands down. I gotta say, the graphics do look amazing. This is kind of our first gameplay shot, besides the other one we already saw of Huggy, so it's not that crazy to analyze. Of course, you can see the Omni hand is still there, but all powered down with no more charges left, because of course we used the last one in Chapter 4. But the next image is a lot more interesting since it looks a lot more unfinished. Of course, having emergency gate controls just up there and just text, and of course showing the red Omni hand scan, just showing actually 2 of them, most likely showing that there will be some type of way to recharge it in this chapter. But it's nothing really crazy, it's more just abandoned stuff, and it definitely looks a lot more unfinished than the other Steam images, and that's kind of why this probably got hidden in the files and never released. But still, I think it's really cool that we actually went and found these. But moving on to some dev updates. Back in the Poppy Playtime Discord server, Amber went and replied to lots of the fans' questions about some other little questions. Like Amber saying she cannot say who this face is on a pumpkin, most likely meaning that this is some type of hidden secret that of course might be a character in Chapter 5 or something else, but it's really interesting to see that. Also saying NDA, I can't answer that, when asked if Amber made the full model of the prototype. And when someone asked if Kissy can calm down Huggy, Amber said you will have to wait and see, showing that most likely in Chapter 5 we will be able to see a moment between Kissy Missy and Huggy Wuggy, and it's going to be really interesting. Along with them saying don't rush and take your time for Chapter 5, with Amber saying that's the plan. And when someone asks, is the little sailor going to be in the next chapters? If yes, answer with your favorite emojis. And then Amber replied NDA. And if you do not know, it's in this whole Fortnite video we talked about the brand new character called Little Sailor, and it looks like it's actually going to be a related character in the future chapters. Along with someone asking, are you going to draw art for the Thanksgiving like you did with Chapter 4 or NDA? And Amber said you will have to wait and see. And it looks like we're just 2 days-ish away to actually seeing if we will get it. So of course go and subscribe, because I will be doing a video if we do get some brand new artwork. But that's really it for the dev updates. For the last little bit of news that I guess found really interesting, that I guess really want to go and throw it in here. Wicked Makers, you know, the makers that make a lot of really cool Poppy Playtime stuff. In their video of making a real life Mommy Longlegs animatronic, they were talking about how they got the model sent from Mob Entertainment directly, and this was the photos they went and used. As you guys can see, it's just the Mommy Longlegs model. Nothing really crazy. But if you do notice, this is some type of brand new model for Mommy. Not only is he just really shiny, and of course this has white eyes, you can see everything around the eyes to even her hair ties holding up her hair. Just seeing the model and just everything about it, even the necklace, it's all just a higher quality version of the Mommy Longlegs model we know. Of course, this is like what the newest model that's from Project Playtime, and even the Chapter 2 model and Project Playtime models are all a lot older and outdated compared to this model here. It just looks a lot different. Even her little hair loop-de-loop looks a lot different. So I do not know if they just made this brand new model just to have an updated model, or if they plan to update Chapter 2, or maybe even have Mommy Longlegs featured in Chapter 5. But I just want to go and throw that in here, how the model definitely looks a lot more different and updated. You guys could go and let me know if you do think it's going to be something, or you think they just went and updated the model for some other type of future projects. But that's definitely going to be it for this video. You guys can go and let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think about all the brand new news and merch. And don't forget to go watch this video here to see the other theory video, and of course the other type of news videos, and of course this video here to see some other Nightmare Critter merch reviews.